Hi, Weld Central High School. My name is Erin Grundy. I'm an attorney and I live in Lockbilly. I work for the Colorado Attorney General's office as a Senior Assistant Attorney General in the Criminal Appeals section. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about becoming an attorney or a lawyer. In order to become an attorney, the first step is to graduate from high school. You'll need to study hard, get good grades, develop good study skills, and plan to go to college. So you'll need to talk to your guidance counselor and develop what schools you want to apply to. You can go to college anywhere, but you'll need a 4-year degree, either a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science, and your major can really be anything. I went to Colgate University in upstate New York and I majored in political science with a minor in history, but many of my colleagues have degrees in religion, philosophy, economics, communications, or anything else, because being a lawyer doesn't require a particular undergraduate degree. It just requires that you do well in school and that you graduate from college after you've graduated from high school. While you're in college, or afterward, because not everyone goes straight from college to law school, you'll then sit for the LSAT, which is the law school admissions exam. If you apply to law school and are admitted, you'll ultimately go to law school and study for 3 more years after college. So being a lawyer requires 7 years after high school. In law school, you can do a lot of different things. Your first year, the classes are generally picked for you. You'll study evidence, constitutional law, criminal law, contracts, civil procedure, and learn the basic foundations of the American legal system. But in your second and third years of law school, you get a little bit more choice. There are still some required classes and some that will help you understand the content you need for the bar exam, but you'll also get to do some other things. While I was in law school, I got to participate in moot court, which is getting up in front of a panel of judges and arguing a fake case, but I also got to get up in real court in the course of the legal clinic and represent criminal defendants who were charged with crimes. I got to argue their cases because Iowa's student practice rules allowed me to do so before I was even a licensed attorney. After you graduate from law school, you'll need to take the bar exam. The bar exam is a 2-day test. The first day is entirely multiple choice, and the second day is all essays. After you pass the bar exam, you can become a licensed attorney. So a lot rides on this test, because if you don't pass the bar, you're not a lawyer. So standardized testing is an important part of becoming a lawyer, because that bar exam is a very important step. After you become a lawyer, the next question is, what do lawyers do? Lawyers do a lot of different things. They help advise your school board about policies they're going to adopt, about employment contracts, about purchasing land. They help advise the towns you live in about ordinances they want to adopt and whether those are constitutional. They help people in your community write wills, purchase land, purchase businesses, do contracts, handle family law, and they also represent people who are accused of crimes. I am a prosecutor. So what that means is that I prosecute people who are accused of crimes, but I do so not in front of a judge and jury at the trial level, but at the appellate level. So my office, the Colorado Attorney General's office, represents every felony appeal that comes through the state of Colorado. This can be a really wide variety of things. It can be DUI cases where the defendant is charged with driving under the influence and some additional charges to make it a felony. It can be burglaries, it can be assaults, it can be sexual assaults, and sometimes we also handle murder cases, several for the state of Colorado. My job is to prosecute all of those, but I do so at the appellate level. So it's after a defendant's already been convicted and he or she is appealing his or her case to the Colorado Court of Appeals and maybe the Colorado Supreme Court. What we do is we read and write a lot. Every month, I read somewhere between 10,000 and 30,000 pages, and I write somewhere between 100 and 150 pages every month, litigating cases before Colorado's appellate courts, and occasionally the U.S. Supreme Court. In some cases, we also get to go to court and present oral arguments. We do those before panels of appellate judges, and we get to stand up and tell them about the case law, about the facts, and the judges interrupt us with our questions and tell us what they think about the case. It's both fun and terrifying at the same time.
The court entered its orders based only on the testimony of those witnesses that these spectators were likely to influence, and the court's order was appropriate in this case.
So you said a whole bunch of, and good morning too, Ms. Grundy,
morning.
nice to see you again. You said a whole bunch of things there. Trying to think of where to start. What was the reason to exclude the father?
The reason to exclude the stepfather in this case relates to two things. One is that the dependency and neglect.
I love being a lawyer, and doing criminal appellate work is a lot of reading and writing, but it's also really interesting. I get to think about the Constitution and how it works. I get to litigate novel issues like admitting text messages and Facebook messages and new twists on 200 years of case law. And most importantly, I have the honor of representing the people of the state of Colorado in court. I'm also supposed to talk to you a little bit about how my office works and our training, benefits, and opportunities. We have more than 500 employees and are the largest law firm within the state of Colorado. We hire over 250 attorneys, but we also hire a lot of support staff, IT, paralegals, auditors, investigators, and we also take interns. But most of our interns come as law students and occasionally college students, and they're generally unpaid. We love to have students come in and talk to us about the office, and I'd love to talk to you about being an attorney. If you become interested in pursuing a legal education, please feel free to reach out to me or to other lawyers to learn more about it. Our internships are generally unpaid, but they're a really interesting opportunity to learn more about how law and the Department of Law work. Thank you very much for listening today. It's been an honor talking to you, and I am so happy to be able to tell you a little bit about being a lawyer, even though we're doing it in these unusual times. Good luck, Weld Central High School.